Good afternoon everybody on YouTube. I've been looking at the videos from all the way across YouTube with special interest for knives because they've always held an interest to me. One I've had for many years throughout service in the British Army was what people are now calling the M.O.D survival knife. Well, I never knew it was called that, and I never see it on any G1098 form. It was Blade Utility something else, I can't remember the name of it now. I can't ever remember seeing the NATO stock number either on the handle or on the blade, but I've seen some very good reviews about this knife on YouTube, and some that are, well, everybody's viewpoint is valid. However, I just think it's very unfair to confirm this knife, the M.O.D survival knife, otherwise known as the Beast or a Tank, to something like a Becker BK3, which is a beautiful knife in its own right, but it's been designed from the outset for bushcrafting. This was designed to be a jack of all trades but master of none. Okay, now everybody seems to think this is personal issue as a survival knife to every member of the British Army. Well, as far as I know, it's not. You would always find this, and the first time I come across this was when I was first into mechanised warfare in armoured personnel carriers in Germany, and it was in the toolbox of every vehicle, okay, from a Land Rover, a 1 ton, to a 432, which is an armoured personnel carrier. It was designed to specification in that it will be able to do a lot of jobs but be absolute master of none of them, if that makes sense. An original multi-tool. You can design a knife like the Becker BK9 and it will be very good at what it does, but this was designed to take years and years of abuse and still be going strong. It gained a lot of respect from soldiers that used it, and most of them, like me, when we debust, I got my own one. Some people call that relocating, thievery. That's a strong word. All it took was a crate of German lager, and I got one from the store. And I had mine slightly modified a little bit, and I see people like Wessex Blades doing the same. I think that's Scott from doing the same, just putting a better edge on this. Now, this is designed. The sheath is absolute pop, and I agree with you, but no British soldier was ever going to go wearing this on their belt kit, yeah? It's too heavy, okay? And we've always also got a bayonet, or as I would call it, a sword on there, okay? So we would never actually probably wear this on our normal belt order, or fighting order as we call that. That would always be either inside the Bergen or down the side, if that makes sense, and attaching it through the side straps. I've got one now. I gave mine away. Obviously, as you leave the army, you pass your kit either on to the younger blokes, or you have a little raffle, and just pass it on. I've done a few mods on this. In here, I'm not going to go into it now. I carry a fire kit and a space blanket, so I've got a couple of the priorities of survival. You know, be able to make a fire very quickly. A survival blanket should I need it, and the knife itself. Now, the sheath, the level one that I see everybody, if you're actually thinking that's not too brilliant and it's left-handed side, well, I very agree, because it was always designed to go into a toolbox, okay? And I think anybody from America here, everything from a Humvee upwards would be issued one of these knives, in the same way as they get a shovel, a pick, a big, you know, proper saw and that type of stuff, and a big crowbar. This was part of the vehicle kit issue, okay? And obviously soldiers used them because they're absolutely brilliant pieces of kit. Certainly now I'm taking an interest in bushcraft. I can't think I think that was about £40 all in. I made a few, that pouch didn't come with it, but this is £40. If you're in America, you're going to have to go away and find out what your rate of exchange is at the moment anyway. But all I've done with that is, as I always did, was put some bicycle in a tube, you know, like a long tube, but people cut to make the Ranger bands. I obviously have belt loops on there should I need to attach it to my belt, okay? And I have I took the actual press stud thing is, I never get on well with press studs, just don't touch them. But obviously that has no way that's going anywhere. I know it slips out a little bit. Well, I'm never going to be upside down, and that's going to be the last thing I'm worried about if I do go upside down. But literally that is going nowhere because I made a Velcro loop over it to secure it. I take it out, standard sheath, nothing too flash about that, barring I've done something to secure it. Now the blade itself, I think it's made out of 440 steel, and I've done it. I've got the micarta bits there, and I just filed it down like everybody else did, because that's true, it was designed so with an ungloved hand, if you use it in very cold or inclement weather, it wouldn't actually, your hand wouldn't be frozen or damaged by touching the tang. Now, as a beautiful knife, I've done a little bit of work on the edge of that as well, but if you make these knives too sharp, yeah, and a Scandi grind all the way down, that blade will be damaged quite easily. And again, it's meant to be 1,000,001 things. I've used this to chop through a door. I've single brick wall, literally like that, yeah, and we used a log to bang through the mortar. We got the first brick through, and then the second brick through, and the second brick through. We needed to look into this building, a farm building, before we went into it to see if any of the doors or the windows had been booby trapped, and that got me, not this one, but the one I had, got me through a brick wall. I actually can't think of any tool that I'd rather have apart from a Moira, which is a totally different knife and used for totally different things. The Becker BK9 and the slightly longer, the Pilot's issue one, I've seen them in the UK for 75 to 80 quid, and I may end up getting one. But this is a knife that I've learned to love, as I think it's Scottish Wessex Blade design said it's like a tank. I have a piece of elasticated cord, always had it like that, so no matter what happens, okay, and it goes off, it's still going to be in my hand, okay. And for batoning and stuff like that, well, I don't actually think, I'm doing it left-handed now, you can really beat a knife like that, and this is designed for specification. If you went and designed a survival knife with this weight and this size, it probably wouldn't look like this now, okay. It probably would look like something like the Becker BK9, but this has been used to take, designed, and again to a cost, okay, because when the British Army order things, they do order things in the thousands, to take years and years of abuse. At the end of an exercise, the whole vehicle's stripped. The most this thing would get is a wipe down with an oily rag, put back in the sheath, which we know the sheath's terrible, back in the toolbox, and that would be it, job done. I think a lot of these knives, and I think a lot of the soldiers that have used them over the years, bearing in mind this has been in service some getting on for 30 years, and people are comparing it with knives that are maybe, you know, based on experience and designed to a specific specification a few years ago. This thing's a tank. I love it, and I've yet to find anybody that has been in a difficult situation and had to rely on this knife that hasn't loved it as well. Anyway, ladies and gents, that's just my view, and I respect your view on the what everybody else is now calling the military of defence survival knife. Right, thank you very much.